Validation allows you to curb data entry. In other words, you can prevent unwanted data in your fields. We're going to start off simple with a basic date validation. Before we do that, I want to go ahead and look at our date field or date of birth field here. And I want you to understand that FileMaker has an algorithm built into it. If we come in here and type in a 2-digit year, let's say we type in 40. We might mean 1940 or 2040, but FileMaker is going to interpret that. Notice it goes to 2040. If we go in and type in 41, you notice it interprets this as 1941. Now this has changed through different versions of FileMaker. In FileMaker 10, I believe it was 38 and 39 was the cutoff point. So you just got to be sure you understand how FileMaker works. And to prevent this occurrence, because we want people to enter in what they want, which is a 2-digit year, right? Want them to enter it from the beginning so FileMaker doesn't have to interpret it. We can use validation for that. So we're going to go into Manage Database. We're going to go over to our date of birth field and go to Options. Go to the Validation tab. And for right now, we're going to skip this stuff up here, but we'll go over it later. We're going to go right down to the Options and choose Strict Data Type. And we can only choose this one because it's a date field. So 4-digit year date, validate for that. Go and try to type in just 2 digits again. And as soon as we exit the field, whether we tab or click over here, it's going to give you this error message that you have to put in a 4-digit year. Now we can hit Revert Field, and it'll go back to what it was before. Or we can click OK, and it allows us to keep editing it. And we can type in the actual date that we mean. So that works pretty well. It prevents people or curbs their data entry. So we're going to go ahead and try some more. In order to do that, we're going to do the time and number. We need some sample fields that we're going to put in the database but delete later. So let's go to the File menu, choose Manage Database. We'll create a time field. Make sure it is a time type. We'll create that. And then we'll create a number field. Go to Number and create that. Double check them, number and time. Good. Click OK. We'll go into Layout mode. Drag the field tool on there. We'll find the time field. Create the label. Make it a little bit bigger. Then I'm going to Option or Control drag it so I can just easily make another copy of this and find the number field. There we go. So now we have both the fields on the layout, and what we're going to do is format these. We're going to go ahead and format the time, and to do that we use the inspector. So we'll go in there, move the inspector over here, and go into our data formatting. We want to make sure we're on the time, so click on that. And here we go. We can go ahead and choose any type of time formatting. I'll just choose the first one here. And then we'll go to our number field. And we'll go ahead and do the number formatting. We can go ahead and do, let's say, decimal if we want. Fixed number of decimal digits. And then we can switch over to our currency and choose the kind of currency format we want. Use thousand separators, thing like that. And let's see how that worked out. We'll go into browse mode. We'll enter in a time like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it interprets it as 5 a.m. We go over here and type in some letters, and it interprets it as nothing. If we type in real data, you'll see that it'll interpret it correctly. See, it puts in $3.40. If we put in 11 o'clock, it's going to interpret it properly there. If we want it to be 11 p.m., well, then we just add the p.m. Well, going to make sure I type that right. There we go. And it'll interpret it correctly, puts the seconds on for you, but it keeps the actual data you entered when you click into the field, as we've shown before. Now let's go ahead and try putting some validation on it. We'll go into Manage Database. We'll go find our time field. And we'll come down here and say Strict Data Type Time of Day. And then we'll find our number field. And Strict Data Type Numeric Only. So let's see how things differ here. Let's go ahead and type in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as we did before. And you notice that it gives us an error message. It wants us to enter the correct format. So we'll just revert the field here. And then the same is true here. If I try to type in some letters, it's going to tell us that we have some problems here. And you'll notice we have revert field, we have no, which will put your cursor in there, and then we also have yes, which allows you to go ahead and accept it, and it stays there. You generally don't want to put that in there because it's interpreting as nothing, but you can see all the choices you have here as far as buttons, and we're going to show you how to get rid of some of those buttons. If you don't like these buttons right here, revert field, yes and no, we can actually play around with those and eliminate some of them. So let's go ahead and hit yes. I'm actually going to get rid of these before we get out of this section here, because we don't really want these fields, and it might be best to find it by using creation order, because I can line them both up, shift click both of them, delete them, and then I can switch back to field names so I can find things with type ahead. And there you go. So just remember, validation simply curbs data entry so you get exactly what you want in that field.